Long ago, in the verdant heart of the land, where rivers sang and winds whispered through stalks of maize, there lay the ancient village of Agbado, a place where the earth once bloomed with gold. The people of Agbado were farmers by blood, planting with prayer and harvesting with joy, for their lands were blessed by Agbado, the corn goddess, whose spirit dwelled in the soil. Each season, the villagers offered the first harvest to her sacred grove, singing praises and dancing barefoot in her name. But over time, greed crept in like a creeping vine. Queen Olari, a ruler once loved, began to hoard the best of the yield for herself and taxed the people heavily. The offerings to Agbado dwindled, replaced with vanity feasts in the queen's marble palace. One fateful season, the skies turned grey and the soil dried up, the cornfields withered, and the once thriving granaries turned hollow. The villagers, frightened and hungry, turned to the high priest Ikon, whose bones knew the old truths. Ikon climbed the hill of whispers and poured libation, calling upon Agbado for forgiveness and guidance. That night, under the light of a full moon, Agbado appeared to him in a dream, half glowing with gold and half cloaked in green husks. "Your people have broken the covenant," she said, her voice like rustling leaves. "My spirit fades. One soul must journey to restore balance." The next morning, Ikon summoned the village, his voice trembling as he told of the goddess's message. "We need a heart as pure as morning rain," he said. "A soul untouched by greed." Among the crowd stood Oyodike, a young orphan who tilled the fields of others and shared his meager food with children poorer than him. The wind rustled around him as if in agreement, and the villagers turned their eyes toward the boy. Oyodike bowed low, unafraid. "If she calls me, I will go." Queen Olari scoffed from her gilded throne. "Let the boy go then, perhaps the gods will eat him and leave us be." Ikon gave Oyodike a sacred staff made of old iroko wood and a pouch of kola nut, and instructed him to follow the river until it split like the horns of a ram. "Beyond that lies the path to Agbado's realm," Ikon whispered. "Do not eat, do not sleep, and do not speak her name until she finds you." And so Oyodike set out, barefoot but brave, with only the earth's breath and the river's rhythm to guide him. For 3 days he walked beneath the burning sun and slept with the stars as his roof, never eating, never speaking. At the river's fork he saw a golden shimmer, like sun bouncing off dew, but it moved like a woman walking. From the reeds emerged Agbado, her skin glistening like morning maize, her lower body a cascade of corn, silk and cob, regal and sorrowful. "You are not afraid?" she asked, eyes glowing like ripe kernels. "No," Oyodike replied, "but I am hungry for healing." She smiled, and the field behind her sprang to life, blooming golden stalks that danced without wind. "Your heart is soil fertile with truth," she said. "But to save your people, you must take my seed." She pulled a single corn kernel from her palm, glowing and pulsing with ancient life. "Plant this in the queen's palace," she whispered. "When it grows, I will return, but if it is rejected, your village shall vanish with the dawn." With reverence, Oyodike took the seed and bowed. Agbado melted into the earth, and the fields fell silent once more. Holding the seed close to his chest, he turned back, the weight of a village pressing into his young shoulders. Oyodike arrived at Agbado by twilight, the villagers rushing to him with hope shining in their hollowed eyes. He said nothing, as Agbado had instructed, and walked past the crowd toward the queen's palace. Queen Olari, draped in golden cloth and arrogance, eyed the boy suspiciously. "So the gods did not eat you." Oyodike knelt before her throne and presented the glowing seed, a gift from the goddess. He said, "Plant it, and Agbado shall bloom once more." The queen's lip curled. "I am no farmer." Ikon stepped forward, his voice trembling. "If you reject this offering, our land will perish." Reluctantly, The queen allowed Oyodike to plant the seed in the center of her courtyard beside her marble lion statues. That night, a soft rumble echoed through the earth, and in the moonlight, a single green sprout pushed through the stone by dawn. It had grown into a towering stalk of corn, thick with golden kernels and shining like the sun. Villagers gathered in awe, kneeling and singing old songs forgotten by time. The queen, intrigued, ordered her servants to harvest the corn, but as they reached for it, lightning cracked from the sky, striking the ground beside them. A voice echoed from the heavens. "This corn is not yours yet." Agbado descended from the clouds in her full glory, half woman, half golden maize, her eyes fierce with divine justice. "Your greed poisoned the soil," she said, facing Queen Alari. "You broke the sacred covenant." The queen trembled, her tongue tied by guilt, but pride held her knees stiff. "I am queen, the gods serve us, not the other way round." A great wind surged through the courtyard, uprooting trees and flinging banners into the sky. Agbado raised her hand, and the earth cracked beneath Alari's feet. "From dust you rose, to dust you shall return," the goddess whispered. The ground swallowed the queen slowly, and from her burial spot, another corn stalk grew twisted. Dark and dry, the villagers watched in silence, hearts heavy with both fear and relief. Agbado turned to them. "Will you remember me now?" The people knelt, chanting her name, their voices rising like waves. Agbado placed her hand on Oyodike's head. "This one shall be your new guardian." The stalk in the queen's courtyard burst into thousands of golden kernels that floated into the sky like fireflies. Wherever a kernel landed, the soil turned black and rich within days. Elugwu's barren lands bloomed with fresh corn and vegetables, the rivers sparkled, and children laughed once more. Oyodike was crowned as the village's guardian of the grove, robed not in gold, but in green leaves and respect. Peace returned, but with it came envy from neighboring kingdoms, who heard whispers of Elugwu's sudden prosperity. Chief Folokan of Idu, a war-hungry ruler, sent spies disguised as traders to steal the goddess's corn. Oyodike noticed their strange interest in the sacred grove and warned the villagers. That night, the winds howled, and a mysterious fire broke out near the shrine of Agbado. Oyodike ran into the flames, staff in hand, and chanted a prayer taught to him in his vision. Rain burst from the sky like a flood, quenching the fire instantly. From the smoke rose Agbado, furious, her face carved in fury. "Who dares defile my grove?" she roared. The traders, revealed in truth, begged for mercy, confessing their mission from Idu. Agbado's wrath was swift. She turned them into stalks of maize, rooted forever in the sacred grove. "Let those who steal from the earth be bound to it," she declared. Fearing retaliation, Oyodike convened a council of the elders to decide their next move. Some wanted to wage war against Idu, but Ikon reminded them, "Our strength lies in protection, not aggression." Agbado appeared again and handed Oyodike a crystal kernel glowing white. "Plant this in secret," she whispered. "It will shield your village with nature's armor." Oyodike planted the seed beside the village gate, and within hours, a massive wall of tall corn stalks grew, unbreakable and green. Birds patrolled the skies, and the wind itself carried warning whispers. When Olakin's soldiers came days later, they were met with confusion. Elugwu had vanished behind a wall of living maize. They slashed, burned, and cursed, but the corn stalks healed faster than they could destroy. Frustrated, they retreated, and word spread across the land. Elugwu was guarded by the corn goddess herself. Agbado appeared in the council again and spoke. "Let this be your legacy: coexist with the earth, or be erased by it." The villagers renewed their covenant. Each harvest, the first and finest crops were offered at dawn with song and dance. A shrine was built in the center of the sacred grove, decorated with golden tassels, husks, and earthen bowls. Pilgrims came from distant lands to see the miracle of Alugwu and pay tribute to Agbado, Oyodike. Became a legend, his name etched into stories told by grandmothers at fireside, but he remained humble, living simply, and tending the grove with his bare hands. Agbado visited him often, teaching him more about the old ways about stars, seasons, and secrets of the seed. Every corn kernel is a soul, she once told him. Treat them as you would your children. With time, Alugwu became a place of learning, where other farmers came to study soil, prayer, and the power of balance. The earth flourished, and famine became a forgotten word in the tongue of Alugwu. Years passed, Oyodike grew older, his beard grey and spirit serene. One night, he dreamt of a dying field, dry, cracked, silent. Agbado appeared in his vision, weeping kernels of gold. Far away, a land suffers, my voice is forgotten there. You must go. Though aged, Oyodike rose at dawn and prepared for his final journey. The villagers wept, but understood this was the will of the goddess, with a satchel of sacred kernels and staff in hand. He left Alugwu, never looking back. He crossed rivers, mountains, and deserts, planting a single seed in every suffering land. Where he walked, miracles bloomed, deserts turned green, famines broke, and hope returned. People called him the seed-bearer in one desolate valley. He planted his final seed and fell asleep beneath a new moon. Agbado came to him in the flesh, beautiful and ageless. You have done well, child of the earth. She touched his chest, and he transformed into a giant corn tree, roots deep in the valley, from his leaves. Sacred kernels rained every season, feeden.